Okay, so this month is Overwatch, and it's a bit different in terms of having three different roles to try to go and rank up in ranked of tank, damage, and support. And this is what I was last season, so tank was 2396, damage was 2251, and support was 2345. And so I want to see how high I can get with each of those, and that's kind of the overall thing for this month, is just to really see how high I can go. And it's the tier list here, so technically right now I'm considered gold, which goes up to $24.99, so pretty close last month, but I want to see if I can get to platinum, maybe diamond. And so I decided to, I have to do the placements for this season, because this season just started. And so I jumped in, got into a tank for the first one, and played Diva, and as a result, had a pretty nice Diva bomb. Just dropped it in, got 3 of them, fought against the Zarya, and was able to go and get that, which eventually did help my team go and secure the victory in the long run. And after that, the next game that I had was as a support for it, because you have to do 5 matches in each. That was crazy back and forth, had a victory, but it then led to a very long series of defeats that happened. And it's something that I had to go and learn how to do, of replaying the game, because I didn't really play that much. And so after doing a bunch of support and tank, because those are the most common two as far as wait times, and I got another victory in support, so I pretty much ended it as 2 and 3 and had to deal with this nonsense where I was playing as Brigitte and then suddenly got kicked out of the game, which then overall decided to go and reconnect me, but just in time for my team to go and lose. So it actually, weirdly enough, counted as 2 losses, so I decided to jump into damage, see if I can get that one going, and damage after damage, I kept going and did not win really ever again. And so this is where I'm currently sitting at. 2373, 2140, and 2320 is starting this one off. Okay, so the month is over, and that means my month of Overwatch is over. And I'm just gonna quickly pull up the chart to show exactly what I did over the course of the month and kind of break it down. So first thing you'll notice is I went down a lot. So as the numbers were, I ended last season at 2396 for a tank, 2251 for damage, and 2345 for support. Now I did start below these because I had horrible placement matches, and then I was like, okay, let's see how it goes. And you can see for the damage that it kind of goes up a bit over time, slowly going up, and then just started bombing with, I don't know if it was due to the hero pools coming in, don't know if it was due to teams overall or my own gameplay, probably more likely, but that kind of shot down. So at the very end of it all, tank was 2262, the damage was 2102, and the support was 2299. Now, what does overall that mean? Well, it means I didn't hit my goal of hitting platinum in anything. In fact, I went even lower than I was last season for everything. And yeah, so don't know what to make of that. And I'm gonna have my wonderful, as you can see, gameplay of me playing here, and I'll have some highlights at the end of my wonderful gameplay. But really, what do those numbers mean? So I did a breakdown of it, and so difference between the start of the season and the end, which I did 33 games of the not the whole season but the month. For tank I went down 111 points, for damage I went down 38, and support I went down 44. So on average, for tank, I went down about 3 1/3 each game, a little over 1 per damage, and about 1 1/3 for support. Now, from last season, obviously those numbers are much higher, and actually the bigger drop from last season is in damage, interestingly enough. I don't know if it's because my damage drop at the end just totally tanked or what, because I kind of went on like a 5-game losing streak, but I went down 149 points over last season, and tank I went down 134, but again, most of that was this season in comparison to where I started. And support I only went down 46, so it was probably the closest to because the starting was only 2 points off from last season. I think that's part of it as well, because I mean, you look at where the difference in the start was, and the start for both tank and support were 23-2. And I know I'm throwing a bunch of numbers out there, but just this was a bunch of stats, I feel like, in a stat heavy month to show really what happened and really how things went and where do I think things went wrong. And I don't know, I think that hero pools had something to do with it, as I said, because we got to a point with supports that the main 2 supports that I played of Moria and Ana were banned out for about a week, and I ran into that issue of being able to try to go and play support games, and that's where I kind of lost a bunch of support games in the middle there. But overall, I think it's something that I'm going to learn from. I'm going to go and try to work on and improve. And I think that this is actually going to be a good starting point and a comparison to a challenge I'm going to do later in the year, where I'm going to compare how I do on console versus how I do on PC for the same exact game for a challenge, and this one being Overwatch. And so, knowing that I'm ending the month at 2262, 2102, and 2299 for tank, damage, and support respectively, I'm curious to see what that means overall in comparison to, am I better on PC or am I better on console? And that's kind of where that challenge is going to come in, and we're going to see there. So, did I complete the challenge for this month? No, not at all. Not even close. Went worse. But it just means now that I have a new challenge going forward, and I am kind of interested in seeing how that goes. So with that, I'm just going to leave it with the cool clips of the times in these games that I did decent, and I will see you next month.